All right, folks, gather around the campfire. Or now, maybe your phone screen, because we're driving into one of Ohio's weirdest urban legends, the Melonheads. And yes, they're exactly what they sound like: tiny forest people with giant heads and even bigger anger issues. Having lived near this area my entire life, I've heard multiple iterations of this story, going back as far as I can remember, each one just as dumb as the one before, and everybody else trying to convince you that they've actually seen them and that this has actually happened. So, right now, we're going to go ahead and dive into the lore a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and do the movie review for Melonheads, The House of Crow. So the story goes back to the early 1900s right here in Kirtland, Ohio. Legend says that there was a mad scientist named Dr. Crow, because of course his name was Crow, who lived out in the woods doing experiments on orphaned or abandoned children. Apparently his hobbies included unethical medical procedures and creating mutants that look like human Pez dispensers. I hear he also likes long walks on the beach, ladies, and I hear that he is newly single. So anyway, these poor kids supposedly developed massive swollen heads either from radiation, surgery, or maybe just bad Ohio tap water, and eventually went full feral. When Dr. Crow died, some say the kids killed him, others say he died of guilt. The Melonheads burned his lab to the ground and disappeared into the forest, which, if you know anything about Kirtland's back roads, means they could be literally anywhere between a cornfield and a Dollar General. So since then, locals claim to see them at night, glowing eyes, deformed faces, high-pitched screams echoing through the trees. Some say they attack cars that stop on Windsor Road. Others say they just want to be left alone, which in all honesty, I can absolutely understand. But here's where it gets really Ohio, folks. There is zero proof of any of this happening. No Dr. Crow in the records, no medical lab, no mutant kids. Just generations of bored teenagers, cheap beer, and a forest where weird noises are a guarantee. But still, the legend stuck. The Melonheads became Kirtland's unofficial mascot, right up there with potholes and mysterious cult rumors. We turned a made-up monster into a local brand. There's even been movies, ghost hunts, and people driving out at midnight trying to see one. Because nothing says Ohio date night like getting chased by imaginary inbreds with hydrocephalus. So, are the Melonheads real? Yeah, most likely not. But if you ever find yourself lost in the woods near Kirtland and hear rustling behind you, don't worry. It's probably just me regretting my life choices and looking for a Wi-Fi signal. The Melonheads of Kirtland, Ohio, proof that every small town needs a monster. All right, everybody, it's that time of the show to get to the movie review for Melonheads, The House of Crow. So this movie plays like a lost 1980s D-list horror flake that even the Sci-Fi Channel would reject. The acting? Well, I've seen more emotional range and outrage at the Kirtland BMV. The cinematography? Well, imagine someone duct taping a GoPro to a rabid raccoon and saying, yeah, that's the artistic direction we were looking for, but it definitely screams Ohio. And the story? Oh boy. They took the Melonhead lore, already one of Ohio's dumbest bedtime stories, and said, yeah, let's see if we can make this any dumber. In this movie, the Melonheads aren't even scary. They're just sad. They look like rejected extras from the Goonies fan fiction. The lighting is so bad that most of the movie looks like it was filmed from inside of your boot. And the dialogue, well, let's just say ChatGPT could have written it better, and that's saying something. So one character literally yells, "They're coming!" and then stands there for 30 seconds doing absolutely nothing. So if that doesn't sum up Ohio's work ethic in a crisis, I don't know what does. And don't even get me started on the soundtrack. It sounds like somebody recorded on a Casio 1980s keyboard while having a mild panic attack and slamming a Red Bull. So honestly, I'd rather get chased by the real Melonheads than watch this movie ever again. At least they put me out of my misery faster. Well, hopefully. So if you're into bad lighting, worse acting, horrible decisions, and a plot that makes Sharknado 4 look like Shakespeare, congratulations. Melonheads, The House of Crow is your new favorite dumpster fire. It's not just a movie, it's a 90-minute migraine filmed in 480p. And Kirtland's proudest export, disappointment and questionable filmmaking. Remember on your way out to hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons at the bottom of the page. And until next time, everybody, have a great night.